Alright fellas, it's finally that time of the week once again to update you guys on everything that's going on in the Last Chance U universe. If you happen to be brand new here, my name is FlemLo, where I've been covering Last Chance U right here on this channel since season 1. We got no intentions of stopping, so if you end up enjoying the video, be sure to click the thumbs up button, subscribe, and click the little bell to enable notifications so that YouTube can let you know when your boy upload. This week we're gonna be talking about what we learned from the JB and Frank Diaz beat. While we did learn a little bit about each of those gentlemen, oddly enough, we learned way more about Malik Henry during these guys' beat. So we're gonna be diving into that stuff for the first half of the video, but then I got a special update from DJ Law. If you're an OG of the series, you excited because you don't hear from DJ Law too often. We heard from him yesterday and I got that in this video. We try to hit every season and every level. So I got Bobby Bruce, got Isaiah Wright, Tim Bonner, Chauncey Rivers, Jamal Scott, JF3, and more. So all you gotta do at this point, man, kick back, relax, and enjoy the video. This week in Last Chance U, let's get it. Bah. Yeah, you'll never no quitter, 'cause I'ma go get her. So late last week, JB, head coach at Independence, and Frank Diaz, the QB coach, who routinely got run over by Malik Henry pretty much the entire season. Well, they each had radio interviews with the same station, and a little bit of beef took place. Now, they weren't physically there, and they weren't even on at the same time. Basically, Diaz went first, he did a whole interview, and then JB called in directly after to clear some things up. Now, from these two interviews, we learned quite a few things that the show wasn't able to give us. We got some great insight on Malik Henry, and getting each guy's side of it, you start to get a more complete picture. Now, each interview was about 30 minutes long or something like that. There's no video, just audio. And I listened to both of them, took a couple of notes, and here's the bullet points. Frank Diaz 100% sounded like an opportunist. I feel like he was trying to paint himself in a certain light and elevate his coaching cachet and his importance throughout. The energy he was attempting to project, it wasn't landing. I wasn't believing it. You know what I'm saying? Even on his show, I remember him begging Malik, just pretty much pleading with him to calm down in one of the combos and just, come on, man, just please, bro. Then he walked out, talked to JB, and act like, yeah, man, I just straightened him out. You know what I mean? I wish he would say something. The next thing I noticed, he threw JB under the bus a lot. Now, this one I get, and many of us enjoy watching JB on the show, but we wouldn't want to work for him. A grown man getting cursed out constantly and berated by another grown man, I'm straight on that. But the fact that Diaz felt he needed to constantly belittle JB in an attempt to make himself look better, it just wasn't a good look. The two guys who were doing the interview had seen the show. So I'm not saying he shouldn't speak on it. All I'm saying is they were clearly baiting him, and he took the bait every time. He could not wait to try to dish on JB, and it just comes across as a guy who is very spiteful. Not that he's just lying, it's just a bad look for a grown man who no longer works there. Frank also claims he wanted to fight JB every week, but his energy on the show says no, he didn't. He didn't want smoke. We also learned that Frank didn't decide to go to Indy until after he found out the show was gonna be there. Now, I'm not mad at you seeing the opportunity, but this is a character shaping type of decision once you factor in everything else, you know what I'm saying? Now, Frank is only 28, bro. He worked there for free. He left Indy and worked at a high school after that for a short period of time, and now he says he's about to accept another coaching job, but he was unable to disclose which job that is as of yet. Now, here's what we learned from JB. He called in and was like, yo, me and the other coaches was sitting around the radio laughing our asses off at Frank Diaz make up BS the whole time. He basically said Diaz was a soft millennial and the whole working for free thing was completely overblown. He says there were 16 coaches on the staff, 8 paid, 8 unpaid. And even JB himself started out unpaid, and he says he didn't even have a dorm or a meal plan, and that Diaz really had it good. He said Pete Carroll and Nick Saban started out the same way, and that his generation was grateful for the opportunity, made the most of it, and now they all eating. But Diaz, on the other hand, simply complained. He said that he didn't have any gripes with the way that the show was edited. He said everything you saw obviously happened, they can't make it up, but he did note that some of the conversations were edited to make it look like things were happening simultaneously that were actually happening like at completely different times, including a lot of that meltdown during the Diaz City game, but it definitely happened. He said that the show didn't showcase a lot of the most talented kids on the team because they either didn't want to be showcased or the show just didn't want them due to dull personalities or whatever the case may be. And this is something that I know to be true because, you know, it's a show and they got to make a story. And also Nico, the kicker from Indy, confirmed this for me like a year ago when I interviewed him. JB said that every kid that left Indy last year is starting at their new school. He's not changing the way he talks. Indy had the highest GPA in the conference, etc. He also said that people have been sending them cigars and chicks were sending naked pics, and it's been crazy since the show aired. Now, I saved the Malik stuff for the end here because this is really the only thing that they both seem to agree on. Both guys say, in their own words of course, that Malik was definitely in a depressed state when he came to Indy. They both took up for Malik and came to his defense, and that honestly shocked me a little bit. I thought Diaz might throw him under the bus. I thought JB might throw him under the bus. But they both seem to have a lot of love for Malik, and they say that his teammates loved him because if they didn't, he wouldn't have got away with a lot of the stuff that he got away with. They said the team never turned on him even throughout all of his episodes. Both guys agree that the full picture of Malik just wasn't shown. They each talk about their relationships with Malik and how their weekly team barbecues weren't filmed. And during those barbecues, they had a lot of deep conversations, and both guys have a bond with Malik and kind of see him like a little brother or son. This actually lines up perfectly with what Malik said on Speak For Yourself a few weeks back, and I definitely didn't believe him. I thought that was a PR thing that was drummed up, but both coaches said the exact same thing, so I guess that one's got to be true. They also said he had no off the field issues. It was all on the field with his competitive fire just kind of getting out of control. Then Diaz took credit for developing Malik during his time there, and you know, I guess he deserves some credit because he did deal with Malik and coach him through a lot of his issues. How much credit? I don't know. I feel like Malik came there with all of his football knowledge and skills, but JB did say that when Malik got there, he had fallen out of love with football. He's a young kid, he had been through a lot, but that love grew over time, and by the time he left, he definitely loved football again. So these interviews show a completely different side of Malik, and for both coaches to say the same stuff, it confirms that there's a lot more to Malik Henry than what was shown on Last Chance U. That's all I got on the JB Diaz thing, and that honestly could have been its own video, but I still want to give y'all the updates on all the other players, so let's go. Now, Independence is taking on Diaz City in their first game of the season this Thursday, and a fan favorite is geared up for the game.
Bobby Bruce, come watch us play Diaz City this week. It's going to be a thrill. Make sure you bring your popcorn.
Now, this game is going to be live streamed, so you can watch it in full online. Link is going to be down in the description. Okay, so we got a DJ Law sighting on yesterday. Well, technically we didn't see him, but my man actually tweeted out. He rarely tweets anything. Here's what he sent out. God is good, and I want to thank everyone for all the love over the years. I never thought I would get love like this because of football, but an update, I'm currently training and looking to play by next season. Dealing with some trials, but praying and keeping the faith. Again, thank you all. Now, DJ doesn't elaborate, doesn't say what level he's trying to play on, didn't respond to any of the replies after that, so I don't know. But DJ, if you happen to see this, bro, and you want me to help get the word out, just hit me up, man. Tim Bonner speaks on playing for two coaches known to have big personalities, Buddy Stevens and Lane Kiffin. Here's what he had to say. I never got into it with Buddy, but here with Coach Kiffin, me and him got a good relationship. We always laugh and talk, even on bad days. He's a good dude, a good coach, and he knows how to have fun. Now, Tim also went on to talk about how close he and DeAndre Johnson have gotten, and it's dope to see those cats bond given all that they've been through together, from JUCO itself to the show to FAU. Lastly, Tim says he's never played against a Power 5 school, but he's amped for the season opener versus Oklahoma. I'll be watching, can't wait to see what he does. Chauncey Rivers is looking to finally make his debut at Mississippi State. He was set to get some PT last year after one season at EMCC, but he had some eligibility issues, which he only learned about 48 hours, bro, 2 days before last year's opener. That had to hurt, but he was able to get an academic redshirt. So this year he's a redshirt junior, and he's set to be heavy in the rotation. Mississippi State has a lot of talent at the end, and hopefully Chauncey can make an impact when he's on the field. Last Chance U alum CJ Rivers is still battling for a roster spot with the Jacksonville Jags. Although he's made some plays, every article I'm reading is saying that because the Jags are deep at safety, CJ is basically battling for the 5th safety spot, or possibly a 6th if the Jags decide to keep 6 safeties. But the most likely outcome for CJ is to either end up on the practice squad or on someone else's roster, which neither of those would be a bad thing, as either move would mean that there's opportunity still there for CJ. Jamal Scott is looking good at EIU, but don't expect crazy numbers, as they always go more running back by committee. Hopefully he can make enough plays to further his career past college. JF3's DB coach with the Bears says he couldn't remember ever seeing a player switch from offense to corner in the NFL without any prior experience at the cornerback position. The odds are definitely stacked against JF3 in more ways than one, but here's a quote that tells you all you need to know about JF3's character. People are so quick to quit when it doesn't work the first time. It's like, if you really give up and it didn't work, then you really didn't want it. If you keep pushing, it's gonna happen. Life's not gonna be peaches and cream, but in the end, you get what you want. Here's a quote from JF3's coach. He's such a willing soul. He came in here, he's taking everything in, the veterans are helping him, but he has a skill set that you can see him doing things on the other side of the football that we want to translate to defense. It's a race for us right now, and a race through this month. Fortunately, he's willing, and we're seeing progress every day, but time will tell how much. JF3's best hope is to have an outcome kind of like CJ Rivers. Only thing is, CJ's been playing this position for a very long time, and he's much more skilled at it than JF3 is. So it would be a huge win for JF3 if he can get onto the practice squad and train up to have another opportunity to get a roster spot later. That way he's still with the organization versus being out there on the street, so to speak. Now, there's nothing really to update on Isaiah Wright. He's been working out with his brother, and he's still waiting to hear from another team. All right, fellas, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. If you did, like I said at the beginning, don't forget, click the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. If you're over on Twitter, don't forget to follow Last Chance U alum. The guy that runs that page is hella cool, and he does a good job of giving quick updates. If you missed my video yesterday on IK and Paulie, the dude that punched Geno Smith in the face, make sure y'all go and check that out. Really dope video, dope story. Other than that, bros, thanks for all the support. It's much appreciated. I'ma holla at y'all next time. FlemLo Raps 1.
Yeah,